celebrated April 22nd every single year. And Earth Day is a reminder that we make a lot of trash that turns into pollution, which affects our daily life. So it's there to remind us that to help the community or the earth. So yeah, and we have a few guests that are going to show some talents and projects that will help, I guess. And I'm going first, so what I'm gonna do is I already made some recycling paper projects, and I'm just gonna show you them. We're not gonna make anything. So this is a magazine paper, and you would probably just throw it away or just read it or something. But what my family did was we thought this was pretty colorful, so we just made it into an envelope. And then this is a bookmark that we made out of leftover pieces from a craft. And this, as you can see, has some black lines and some words. But it just fits in, so that's okay. And this is actually a flyer from my school. And it's not very important, because if it was important, that's fine. So this is another one. And these borders are also leftovers. And then we just cut them with a scissor, and then they turned into borders. So. And then this base piece paper is also a flyer from my school that I didn't need. So, and I thought the gingerbreads were really nice, so we made it into a card. This is actually a paper packaging, and we thought it was kind of pretty because the stars and borders, so we just made it into a card. And then the other side, we just put a recycling paper on it. And why I think it's nice to recycle the paper and make cards out of it is because paper is partly wood, which is a natural resource. So we can our next guest is Shawnee Cooker, and she's gonna show us how to make homemade ice cream. So on to you, Shawnee.
So I'm going to show you how to make some homemade ice cream. I decided to use a fruit that's not really sold here. It's more sold in India. It's custard apple, and we couldn't find it here, but we did find the pulp. So if you want to make ice cream with any types of fruits or anything, but you can't find that fruit, it's a great way to use the pulp. So let me just...
And today I'm going to be showing you how to make custard apple ice cream. To start, you will need 1 cup of whipping cream, 1 cup of milk, remember to use cold milk, 1 cup of powdered sugar, 3/4 cup of condensed milk. The condensed milk helps the ice cream so that it doesn't become very hard and it makes it a soft texture. And then 1.5 cup of custard apple pulp. So first, we're going to start by making the whipped cream. So you're going to need a whisk. So to whisk it manually, it'll take 15 to 20 minutes. But if you want it to go faster, you can always use an electric mixer. So I just finished whipping the cream. So now let's start adding the ingredients. First, I'm going to start off with my milk. So just pour it in. And then take a spatula or a whisk and just mix it. Now let's add our powdered sugar. Make sure to get every little bit out. You don't want to So now let's add our condensed milk. So now I've added the condensed milk. Funny story, when we decided to make the video, we actually forgot to get condensed milk, but we decided to make it at home. The recipe is really easy. All you need are 2 ingredients. You just need sugar and milk. Also, condensed milk helps the ice cream form because it makes sure that the ice cream is not very hard, like I said before. So now we have one more ingredient to add, which is our pulp. So let's go ahead and pour that in. And like I said, make sure to take all of it out, like so that you have almost an exact amount of all your ingredients. So now let's mix it. Okay, so as you can see, I have my mixture all good and ready. But first, I want to make sure my ice cream is going to taste good. So I have a spoon right here and I'm going to try it. This is so good. I can't wait to try this ice cream. So first, let's pour it in to our Okay, so now that we put it into our bowl, we're going to put it into the freezer. But if 3-4 hours go by, you want to make sure that you check on your ice cream to make sure that there's no ice forming. And if there is, just mix the ice cream. Okay, so our ice cream is finally ready. Let's put it into our bowl. Okay, so this is what our ice cream looks like. So if you want your ice cream to be more flavorful, you can always take some other pulp and just drizzle some on top. And one of my favorite parts about this recipe is that you can always use different flavors or fruits. Like we already made mango ice cream, and now we're going to try guava ice cream. So I hope you enjoy your ice cream, and I'm going to enjoy it too. This is really good. Bye!
This is awesome, Shravani. That looked so yum, and I love the way how you confidently made everything. Do you actually do this at home normally, or you just did it for the video?
Yeah, we've made the ice cream a couple of times.
Okay.
Ever since quarantine, things have been pretty boring, so we tried it out.
Exactly. So anybody have any questions? I have tons of questions, but I'm going to let you all talk more. So anybody wants to ask anything to the great ice cream maker here? Anyone? We have to talk. Yes, Kushbu.
So if you want to try a different fruit, then you can get another pulp to it, right?
Yeah, but if you have that fruit at home, you can always just mash the fruit and use that as kind of a pulp.
And the best part is you are saving the packaging by making your own food, may it be ice cream or your snacks or anything you make at home. It's saving the packaging that comes out, and you're getting the freshest of the stuff. So you're your health is good. If your health is good, your family health is good. If your family health is good, it's like ripple effect. It is ripple effect. So it's not about going out somewhere and saving the world and saving the trees from Mexico and Amazon. It's about taking care of ourselves and doing what we can. So thank you so much, Ravani. And
Hello, my name is Gia Borgelker. I'm going to talk about gardening. Each year, me and my dad do organic gardening in a plot we rent in Meadowbrook. Organic is no use of chemicals. My dad teaches me how to do this. I help around our garden too. First, we grow seedlings at home. Then once the seedlings grow, we shift them to our garden plot. Next, we keep taking care of our plants by watering them and keeping them safe. Lastly, we pick the produce. We also make compost for our garden. We plant mainly vegetables and flowers. My favorite vegetables are tomatoes and cucumbers to pick and to eat. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to show some plants we have at home.
that would be wonderful, Gia. Thank you.
So I have this coriander in this
Ooh,
pot, and the light helps the coriander grow. The light is like the sun.
oh,
And here we have lots of seedlings inside of this pot. And the flags tell which plant is in each place of dirt.
it's beautiful.
Then here we have tulsi. And here in this mug we have aloe vera.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. I'm all done.
Very nice.
Thanks, Gia. This was really
Thank
beautiful
you.
project. This was wonderful. And I see that your plants are looking so happy and healthy, even though it's not, it's just spring, but they're really looking green and nice.
First, Prisha will show her painting, and then I'll show you mine. You want to show? What have you made?
I made sun and fountain and flower.
Flowers.
Can we see that more? Okay, that's better. Can everybody see that?
That's beautiful.
It looks pretty.
Thank you.
Next,
Aditya, auntie, do you have any of your Madhubani paintings?
Yeah, sure. That's what I wanted to show you.
Oh,
This
look
is
at
the
that.
Madhubani painting that I have made. And this is, this is the ancient Indian style of painting, which is mostly practiced in Mithila, that is a region in Bihar in Indian subcontinent. And these paintings are done with variety of tools, including fingers, twigs, brushes, nib pens, and they also use they can also use matchsticks. And the main characteristics of these paintings are that they usually made it with natural colors, dyes, and pigments that they extract from leaves and flowers. Though I have made this with acrylic paint, but originally the original paintings are done with the natural dyes.
Yes.
And these are basically the wall art. The people over there used to make these arts on the walls to decorate their city and make it colorful. They use, they make various kind of eye-catching geometric figures, and it depicts their culture. Through this painting, they depicts their culture, and they show some birth or marriages, festivals, goddesses, animals, nature. I mean animals, trees, various figure. They depict they show the inner happiness through these paintings, and that's it.
Right. And one thing, Aditya, auntie, that strikes in Madhubani paintings are the, of course, the colors, the natural colors, but also they always have this animals or birds as they use that in a designer way. Like they'll repeat the bird and how.
Yes.
So your painting, can you show us? Can
It
you
has.
see anything natural in this painting? Anyone? Of
Can you
course.
see some animals?
Of course. And can you see how there's a decoration on the elephant? She's done some nice decoration. It's not a simple realistic drawing, but it's decorative drawing of elephant. So that is a specialty of Madhubani paintings. So thank you so much, Adi. We can call her Julie Auntie. And Julie Auntie is, she works with natural plants here in Illinois. And she goes on the sites, she checks, and so there's a lot of knowledge about native plants that she has here. And 2 days ago, she gave us a presentation with Spurlock Museum about wetland.
So I'm just going to go, I mostly want to show you some pictures of wetlands. And like there's a lot of beauty in wetlands, even like on the top with like plants, as well as the water, and then the soils too. If you would dig into wetland soils, you can find a lot of different colors depending on what type of wetland. And these are just some of the types of wetlands we have here in Illinois. Some have trees, some have pretty shrubs, some have more grasses, and then some have more other like plants. And this is one of my favorite wetlands. It has like all kinds of animals and plants, including flying squirrels and mink. And
this is so colorful.
Yes, there's so much vibrancy in the art of these art and beauty of these other species, different plants such as cranberry and pitcher plant, and birds like sandhill cranes and yellow-headed blackbirds. And this is a wetland close by to our home in Urbana. It was made, there were people who had their houses were flooding, and they were trying to figure out what they could do because they were frustrated with their houses flooding. And so one good thing about wetlands is that they can store water. They also can help clean water, clean dirty water, but also help store water. So they work together to create a wetland, and now their homes don't flood. And now, and in addition to that, we have trails to walk on, and there's all kinds of like beautiful plants and the animals that make that place their home. And so here's some more of like the different colors of wetland soils. If you dig into the soil of wetlands, you can see different colors, and a lot of only some plants can live in wetlands, because a lot of times plants, they don't like too much water. They'll die if they get too much water. And that's just because there's a lot of water drives out the air from around their roots. And so there are some plants, wetland plants, that have adaptations. And I just wanted to show, we're not going to go into this too deeply, just wanted to show you some pictures of like different kinds of roots, or shallow roots, or different kinds of stems, or structures on their stems, or even being able to float on the water, are ways that some of these wetland plants can live in the water.
So these are the root systems, right, Julia?
Some are root systems. Some are like Orinkema. If is anyone familiar with the cattail? If you're in Illinois, you might see these cattail. They have special air structures in their stems called Orinkema that help them to get more air while they're in water.
Okay.
And then,
so Julie Auntie, I'm just going to interrupt over here, but so cattail grass is nothing but ramban from India. If you've heard of ramban, they say ramban upay hai for headache and everything. So it's so Julie, it's very medicinal. It grows it's very popular and grows like a weed in India. But in ancient times, they used it as a medicine for headaches and things like that.
What part do you use for headaches?
I think the head.
Okay.
Like the seeds, they make it into paste. They make coconut oil and everything. They mix that and make it into a paste, and then they apply it. So it's everywhere. It's here, native. That's great.
I know in this country, I know less about the medicinal use, but it has been used as like food and shelter, and like the root is edible. Um, the part when in the spring, there's some of the not the brown part, but there's another part you can use to add the pollen from it. You can add to enhance nutrition of flowers, like flour for batter for different baking goods. And
Okay,
also, it's
that's
like, yeah,
wow.
yeah, edible. And definitely a lot of animals eat this too, or use it for shelter. We've also used the cattail fluff in the fall. You know how have you seen how it gets fluffy? You can
Right.
use that to help start fires, like if you're making a campfire.
Oh,
It's really good to help to start. And also, people, if you're out and you're cold, you can take that fluff. Now, it's going to be kind of a little messy, but if you're cold, you can add it in your coat for better insulation. And people used to use
oh,
that for
yeah,
themselves or their homes for
yeah.
insulation.
I see we should have another in detail, in depth, study about the plants here, maybe
Yeah,
We can
it's
do
another time.
interesting.
cultural studies because it's interesting to hear about plants from India and how they compare to here, and just
Right,
to know
right,
about the medicinal and food and other uses
right.
of plants around the
Exactly,
world.
exactly, exactly.
Oh, does Ishani have? Did you have a question, Ishani?
I thought cattails made you itch.
They itch? Did you use some on your skin? Did they itch? Oh, yeah, they have lots of that fluff. Is that what you asked?
I said I thought cattails made you itch because um there were cattails near our neighbor in our neighborhood, and whenever I get home I start itching.
It could be there. Some people have different reactions to different plants, and so it's good to be mindful of what you're around and to note it. Yeah, to see what kind of reactions you might have, because someone might have a reaction and other people might not.
Okay.
I'll show you a few more pictures, and yeah, this is just more like wetlands are like our kidneys. They help to filter water
Wow.
and help to clean water. Wetlands and wetland plants. And if you could see here, I really like this picture. You could see how plants are really good at taking up nutrients or pollutants. Like if you see, we often see just the plant above the soil, but if you take a look at those roots, there are so many roots and rootlets. You can really see why they would be really good at absorbing. And then this is just there's some scientists who study wetlands and how much they can take up, like how much nutrients and pollutants they can take up, and that there are also kids who create wetlands at their schools and in their communities
Ooh, this
too.
is interesting.
And so I want to show you a few more pictures. This is the cattail that I imagine a lot of you in Illinois or Midwest United States have seen. And Kuldeepa, is this similar to what your
Yes,
cattail looks like in India? Because
yes,
definitely,
yes,
I know.
absolutely. It's not similar, it's the same, I think.
Yes, yes, yeah, that's pretty amazing. I'd like to find out more about the medicinal aspect of that.
Yeah,
We have food and medicine all around us.
exactly, exactly.
So this is just some electron microscope pictures of, or just microscopic pictures of the arenchyma tissue inside each of those cattail stems, and I just thought it was there's a lot of beauty in art. You can make like art out of
Yes.
what the structures look like in individual plants. And so if we were doing wetland design, this is something, a cattail is a plant that we can add to wetland. And this is duckweed, and you see it in a lot of wetlands. It is edible, although you also want to make sure wherever you're at that the source of water is clean, because you can get sick from eating plants in water that's not clean. And so you got to be real careful. So I would recommend you don't eat anything, even though I might be saying something's edible. You never eat it without your parents saying okay. But this provides a lot of habitat, like cover for animals. And there are different kinds of duckweed. Some are really small and some are bigger. And they're different than algae. If you would go to water and see this, pick this up on the bottom, it's kind of it's slimy, and that'll tell you that it's algae. It's not a real plant. But if you cup this stuff, you'll see like the individual plants. It's one of the smallest. These are some of the smallest plants we'll see. And I imagine this is in India too. Like you're going to have duckweed in India because it's around the world. It might be different types, like different shapes, but they're same,
Yes.
similar.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And this is something we have around here, and it's possible we have they're around the world too. We'll have to look into that. This is called buttonbush, and if you're in Urbana-Champaign and elsewhere in Illinois, you can see these shrubs and wetlands. And here you can see them at Busey Woods when you take the boardwalk.
Oh,
But they have the lenticels to help them survive living in water, and they also provide good habitats and food for animals such as ducks. And so that's another plant we like to have for wetland designs. And in some places there's something called a tree called bald cypress, and they're so majestic and beautiful. I highly recommend being able to kayak or canoe in places with trees that this majestic. And two, I'm sure, around the world, even if they're not bald cypress, there are other trees like this in water that you can spend time with.
so Julie, Auntie, where can we see these bald cypress?
And if you're in Illinois, you can go down to there's some like nature preserves in southern Illinois, like around the Cache River wetland area.
Okay.
And they would be further south in South United States too, in different wetland areas.
Okay. So near Shawnee National Park, maybe can we see this?
Probably a little bit south of Shawnee National Park. Yes.
Okay.
And so just, wetlands help to clean water, and there's also so much beauty and art in them. And I hope, it'll be wonderful when we can finally get outside together more and
actually go to those spots and, hold them and touch them and see them. So Julie, Auntie, I can see a squirrel that is flying. Is that a native, like flying squirrel?
Is. There are flying squirrels in Illinois, and you often don't see them just because they come out at night. But you can hear them. They chitter. They have a chittering. I don't have. Maybe you can Google flying squirrels because you can listen to them, and they're fairly common, especially in areas that have a lot of forested area.
I mean, here they were like very fresh. Now with the time they turned out brown, but they are still okay. I made this with the okra plants. Yeah, they are like the actual okra stems it is. I didn't do anything, just cut them, just clip the extras, that's it.
Wow.
Use them.
Can you imagine that she didn't even buy them. She just cut them from her yard at the end of the season last year. And what you cut, Jyoti Auntie, that looks like a decoration. The white part, it looks like.
Actually, I didn't cut it. It just happened accidentally. But yeah.
But there you are. It's at no cost. So how is this project, helping the earth or helping the environment? Can anybody tell us? Jyoti Auntie's project? Yeah, do you want to tell us? Can you think of anything? How it can help us?
Me?
Anybody? Gia wants to go, or Shravani?
I can go. So it can help because if you buy it from the store, sometimes maybe the store people will get it from a forest or something, and that can hurt the forest. And if you just do it from your own garden or something, then it doesn't hurt anything.
That is perfect. Also, she mentioned that they might get it from somewhere in the forest. So maybe not in forest, but yes, you don't know the source.
The same. If you go to the store, then you'll waste gas, and then that's also pollution. and sometimes they sell it plastic stuff
Very
that
good.
are like that. So
Yes.
instead of that, then you can get it from your own yard.
That's great. So I'm going to tell all of you in the chat to write one thing that Jyoti Auntie helped save by doing her project from her gardening project. Let's see what things you have. And you cannot repeat what the others are saying in the chat, please. Anything else that you think you can change doing what you're doing right now? Anything else that we can change in our own lifestyle that would help environment and that's why help us? Yes, Shashani.
So I had something to show too.
Sure, please go ahead.
Okay, sure.
That would be great.
I actually have 3 things.
Okay, can you show fast because your time is running off.
So this is my unicorn. I made it so I used my imagination half and I did half of it in the instructions I got from the kit that this wasn't. So I sewed the outline and I used the string and I attached it to the sew.
You made it yourself?
Yeah.
This is so interesting. Can you can you hold that on the camera so we can see the oh, then look at that. So cute.
And then there's this. So my dad's squishy broke and it was full of Orbeez. So I took a balloon and I filled it with the Orbeez that came out of his squishy. And then I put a little bit of water in it and tied it.
Wow.
So we wanted a squishy for a very long time, and this is the homemade squishy.
And what did she do here? How did she help the environment in doing this?
I reused my dad's marbles that came out of.
Absolutely. You reused something that you already had. And how cool is that? You did not buy more things. What happens when we go to buy? When we buy anything, we place a demand. One thing is gone out of shelf, so there is more needed to replace on the shelf. So we are placing a demand on anything that we take. So we have to be very mindful of what we are using. We should use everything, even plastic. It's not bad, but we should use it carefully and mindfully. Okay, beautiful.
This is a picture of a praying mantis on a flower, and
wow.
This is a picture of a flower vase.
Beautiful. Can we see the praying mantis again?
It's beautiful, Shani.
Yeah. Look at the detail. She's so good at detailing. And
this is my best praying mantis.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it.
I painted my Peppa Pig by myself.
Sorry.
She painted Peppa Pig all by herself, she's saying.
Oh, where is the Peppa Pig?
Can you show
Oh,
that?
welcome. You're here. It's so nice to see you.
Here.
We hanged it.
Can we see it? I know that's Kushbu's favorite too, Peppa Pig. Well, was.
You need to reverse it. Here. Now, if you can see, she can see it, okay?
Oh, this is beautiful. Is that a glass painting?
Yes.
Wow. You're as good as your mom.
Oh, it's amazing, Erika. It's beautiful.
I know.
What do you say now?
Thanks.
Yes.
You're welcome and thank you so much for sharing that art. We love pigs and we love what you did.
Thanks in the chat to you.
Oh, you did? I am so sorry about that. Can you read that to us, to everybody?
Yes, don't buy plastic things that much. Don't waste a lot of water and reuse.
Beautiful, beautiful. Anybody else to add to that? Yes, Khushbu.
There are the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle.
It's wonderful. We really wanted to know what exactly you will do, like all these reduce and reuse. What, like save water?
Or you don't need them.
Sorry.
Can you say it again?
Turn off the lights before you go out of your room and if you don't need them.
Beautiful. Off the lights and off the electricity if you don't need them. These are
Right.
all practical things that we all can do. Okay. Thank you so much. We will keep meeting every month for, as the recurring projects. And if you're interested, we are having action plans for everything that the kids spoke to us. So we'll be in touch with all of you, but thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you,
Bye
Deepa.
for
Thank you
now.
so much.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks to all the guests. Thank you so much, Julie Auntie. Thanks for
Bye.
joining us today. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.